We're going to be doing one more session here. This one is about the management console that actually controls the devices held by the reporters in the field. So far we've actually gone through how to use the editing on the devices itself. We've gone through the management of the website, but one of the unique things about this system is that from a central console, G&I can actually control all of the devices that are within their network. So for example, if I have the application here, I can press a couple of buttons and I can give anybody on an iPhone or a laptop or other web-enabled devices the ability to send stories directly into my network. Now this is done through something called the Grassroots News Find Stringers page, which is a specially developed page for G&I. Now what I'm going to show first is what the reporters will actually see. And I'll also show how people can upload from a laptop rather than from, say, an iPhone or an Android phone. So the first thing you'll see is the home page. And this system is designed to also let reporters communicate with the desk. A reporter who's in the system will be able to get messages from the news desk, and those will appear here. They'll also see job updates. So if there is a new job posted, they'll see that here, and then they'll be able to apply for that job. They'll also see assignments. So these might be assignments that have been posted a while ago. And I will actually go to the assignment desk now. These 4 tabs are really where they interact with the news desk on a regular basis. So you'll see here that there's available jobs. And any of the people in your network will be able to say, yes, I'd like to be able to take this job. They just have to click on it to get more details. As you can see, there may be usually more detail than this, but all they have to do is apply for the assignment. They can write their application and submit. That goes into the news desk, and then the news desk can choose from among the different people who have applied to do that particular assignment, and then they just simply hit hire. And I'll be showing you that in a bit. On the job page, these are jobs that this particular reporter has already got. So he's got a list of these. A new one means that he hasn't been hired yet. He hasn't been activated yet. But the active ones mean that he can now send into the system. Pretty simple to do. This also gives the reporter all the information they need. So they'll know what their deadline is. They'll know, when the assignment started. They were hired on June 30th and they have a deadline of July 5th. It's active. Any extra instructions go here. So the news desk can just write in, I want to go to this place, talk to this person, all that kind of thing. And then when they're ready to do their story, they just hit media upload, and you get a media uploader right here. Now this will send stuff automatically into the G&I mainframe, which is a server that we maintain. And all we have to do is go in, choose a file, and then we can put in some information. So we might put in movie, I put in name, dateline, say Kelowna, region, it's going to go into North America. So from here, as I showed before, this will automatically know to drop the video into the North American channel. So when it goes to the editor doesn't have to go looking around for it. It's already in the channel it needs to go in. All they have to do is review it, maybe rewrite the headline, and then hit publish, and they're done. So we'll leave it there. We'll put a tag in to say it's in, say, Canada. We can also add a Twitter feed, so it will automatically feed up to a certain Twitter feed by topic. So in this case, I don't know, we might put in Winefest or something. We can give it a category, and why don't we just leave it in there? And we can also write in the text in here. We can also paste it in there. So often you might write in, say Word or Pages or something like that, and then you just paste it in. And then we hit submit. Now I won't do that because I don't think they actually want my story in there, but that's how it works. So that would automatically just go into the system, and as we showed before, really it is as easy as selecting the story and hitting publish. And that's really as complicated as it gets. Finally, we have messages. So if I have if I have a news desk person who is, coming back and forth to me about a story, and that often happens, these are actually going to go onto here, but they also go onto your mobile device, which is very important. You may not have your laptop open all the time, but you will have your phone with you pretty much all the time. So when you do this, you get a message on your phone that gives you a message from, Fine Stringers. You click on it, and it takes you to that message. So it lets you stay constantly in contact with your news desk, and you don't have to have your laptop to do it. So, for example, I can find this, and, I can say, interview went well, story in by 5, and then I'm done. So it's just a nice, easy way to keep in touch with your news desk and just, be able to let them know what's happening at any given time. The other side of this, of course, is the news desk itself. So they have their own management. So I'll just log in here. So this is what the news desk sees, and pretty similar stuff. You'll see the same messages. You can see that Uli has applied to do a story, and this is the story that he's applied to do. So now you can go to Uli. You can see his application. Please take me. Sounds a little desperate. Probably needs the money. So all we have to do, we can correspond with Uli and find out a little more about him, maybe a little more than just I need the money, get his qualifications, that kind of thing, and why he should do that story. But if all that looks good, we just hit hire. And once we hit hire, he's integrated into our newsroom, on his iPhone and on his laptop, and he's ready to go. It is a very, very simple way to integrate into a newsroom. In the background, lots of other things are happening. But as far as the actual management on this side, it is very simple. If I go back to my assignment desk, I can also see that Uli currently has 2 assignments. So I've got active assignments, posted jobs, so there's 2 here, and we can see that I've got 2 stringers in here. There's also something called My Reporters, and My Reporters is a way to keep track of people who are in your own staff. There's really 2 categories. One of them is freelancers, or as we call them in the trade, stringers. So if you're a stringer and you're not sort of a regular, that's where you would go into the stringers category, or fine stringers, which is the green tab. Under the My Reporters tab, this is where you keep track of your own reporters. So as you can see, we've got Deborah. We can go to Deborah and we can see that here's her qualifications. And we can, now there's a couple of neat things here that I really like. We can message again directly. So any reporter in here, we can message from the laptop or whatever. We can hire directly, and we can also phone. And one of the things for GNI is that GNI is a global news service. So what we did in this case is we created something that creates a VoIP call, which has virtually no charge whatsoever. And when I press this button, it brings up this. And do you think we should freak out Deborah? I think we should. Can I get somebody's phone number here? 649? 1. Okay. There we go. So now I'm hoping they've activated that. They're still working on this website. But what should happen is they will get a call on their phone. They'll pick up the phone and it will say, "You've just got a call from Fine Stringers, please hold." Then your phone will ring and you'll pick it up. And when you do and answer, you will be connected. But you'll be connected by a VoIP call, not by an ordinary. There you go. Tell her she's hired.
Hey, Deborah, you're hired. What?
So that's how the newsroom can stay in touch with people in Africa or Asia, or anywhere else, and it vastly reduces the charge for telephone calls. It also makes it a lot easier. You don't have to look up phone numbers. Everything is managed in the back end. If they ever change their phone number, it would automatically update the phone number. So their messaging, emails, everything will automatically go to them every single time. You never have to update. It just does it by itself. I'm a lazy person. I just like things that do things for me. So that's kind of how this is designed. So that's sort of the hiring process. Also, when you hire a stringer, so now you're looking for someone new. You're going into a territory, you don't have someone working in a particular area. Now, you've got your own map. If you look on the Find Stringers map, there's quite a few more people there, but you've got your own map. You'll notice that I can pick by qualification. Let me see here. Maybe those are all editors. I'll bet they're all editors. I'm going to reload that. There we are. Okay, so you'll see on here there's two different kinds of icons. There's yellow icons with houses on them, and then there's red icons. The yellow icons represent where people are based. So in other words, if I live in Kona, Hawaii, it's going to show my house in Kona, Hawaii. However, if I'm on assignment in, say, Liberia or Australia, it will show me in Liberia or Australia as a red dot. And the reason for that is, you know, if you're a correspondent who travels, it doesn't matter where you live, it matters where you are now. People want to hire you immediately, so they need to know where you are this minute. Now, I should mention that if you take a look at that website, those red dots are randomized. You know, for example, if we click on this person here, Vericorder Rob, what this is doing is it's, depending on whether he's using his laptop or his phone, it's actually showing you the location based on GPS data. And so it will, to a certain extent, we actually randomize that. If we want to get really scary, we can actually track down to about 3 meters, but for reasons of privacy, we don't do that. But it's also safety. So for some reason, reporters are not always as popular as you might think they would be. So, you know, I know personally I've had people, you know, like I had a contract on my life at one point. I didn't want people to know exactly where I was. If they're going to kill me, I thought, well, they might as well, I'm going to make it hard for them. They're going to have to work for it, you know. So we don't show exact location. We show location roughly by a neighborhood within a city. So, you know, if you're in Colorado Springs, we would show you roughly in this neighborhood, not at the airport, that kind of thing. So once we've done that, this works exactly the same way. Vericorder Rob, you know, doesn't necessarily work for GNI, but I can go in here, phone, message, hire, just like I could if you worked for GNI. So it gives you an external source of reporters, and it gives you control over your own reporters. The nice thing too is that you can actually cut off their access anytime you want. So let's see here, recently hired. Oh yes, work samples. Just going to see if there's actually an open job that's going on right now. Active assignments. Right. So in here, he's been hired for this particular job. Now right now there's only one destination here, but normally what would happen is you would have a number of destinations. So the destination might be, you know, I'm going to send it to GNI North America, and it's going to make sure that it goes to GNI North America. So you'll give that target. So normally there would be a list of them there. And sometimes what we do is we give people 2 or 3 options, just in case. It's like a fail-safe. So it might be GNI North America, so it goes to that particular server and goes automatically into that box. But if that fails, what happens is we send an email store and forward. So an email store and forward basically is a different protocol. You can send massive files up to a server. It drops a link down. Person clicks on the link, and it downloads the files to their computer. So email has a limit of about usually 10 megs, which for video is nothing. You know, it's a few seconds of video. Whereas what we can do is we can actually email massive files, and that's a great backup. Another one is we can send it directly into a backup FTP server, and then, you know, so there's another backup as well. So usually we have like 2 or 3 different destinations at any given time. And so right now, when I hit save, Uli now can send directly to me. If I go back and I want to get rid of him, I can just take him off my list. I can also set a time limit. So if I say it's a week assignment, at the end of the week, then he drops. So that basically is how you manage the stringer. The other thing you can do too is you can post a job. And you can do that on the main find stringers, or you can do it within your own network. So if you needed a TV reporter for a volcanic eruption in Argentina, you know, you write the story description here. You would say, yes, it's on location. You would put in all your location information in here. You post a job, and everybody in your network now can see that job. And if they're nearby or can take it, then they can just let you know, and off they go. So that basically runs you through pretty much all of the functions. And the nice thing about it is this is integrated into your iPhone app, it's integrated into your laptop, but it's also integrated into the GNI server. So you've got this nice little link. You do stuff here, it lets people link in from outside. So, and that's about it.